again. So, all right. So we are live on Facebook right now, Vaiata, and I want to welcome Vaiata to our group here, How to Live a Fulfilling Life Now. So if you are tuning in now, then we are live. I'm interviewing one of the participants in the Woman Beat Your Drum program. And so if you've got any questions, actually, first of all, if you're here, just say hello, send a little like or love, or if you're watching the replay, then send me a little note as well. And if you have any questions as we go through, please write them in the comments, and both Vaiata and I will go in afterwards and, reply to your comments. So, all right. So Vaiata, thank you for taking this time. I know, and you're in New Zealand right now, and it's early in the morning. It's before your work day. So you fit this in before your work, and thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Can you just
Thanks for
say,
having me.
oh, hey. Can you just tell people briefly what it is that you do?
So I work for the National Bowel Screening Program in New Zealand.
Awesome. Thank you. And I'm sure that is a very busy job.
It sure is. Yeah, it's the second highest cancer in New Zealand. So yeah, we're dealing with a lot of things at the moment.
Wow. Okay. All right. So, well, let's talk about transformation and transforming your life, right? And
Yeah.
and so I'm always curious to know the answer to this question, because there's so many other programs out there, claiming all kinds of things, but you've got a lot of choice. So what is it that had you choose the Woman Beat Your Drum program with me?
Well, first of all, I've known you for a long time, but more than that, I've done quite a lot of other learning and transformational work. And when I read what the Woman Beat Your Drum was all about, I thought, yeah, I just thought that all these different modalities, shamanics, and all of that. And also the other thing is I'm from the Cook Islands, and that whole thing about drums, as soon as we hear drums, our hips start moving, doing the hula before we even start getting up. So I just thought that reminded me and takes me back to this. When I'm in the hula, when drums are drumming, we just hula, and we are just free to be ourselves when we hear that. So that's why it really spoke out to me as well.
I love that. Yes, it is. It is a very powerful title for a program, and I named it specifically that it creates. So tell me, and before you registered in the program, because I would love for people to hear a little bit about your process, and so like internally, right? So before you registered in the program, what was the obstacle that you had to overcome in order to commit?
I think one of the biggest things was finances, really, for me, but also, yeah, just what did, really wanted to know, well, what did I actually want to get out of this program? Because as I say, I've done lots of other programs. So yeah, really getting very, very clear that when I go into this program, that at the end of that program, I am going to get what I want from it. And I can say I have.
Yes, yes. But before, because it's easy to say that now, and that's how come, you've agreed to do this interview and we're going to do it because of the results that you're getting. But, before you embark on a journey like this, you never know, right? And,
No.
it's like, even though we've known each other for a long time, so there's a relationship there and trust, and, but there's still, am I going to get what I want because I've been looking for it for so long? So, what was it that made you go, yes?
Because right now I'm 66, and I think, well, my life from now on, I want to make a difference. And so, and I, it just called to me that I'm going to make a difference. This is going to make a difference. The other thing, the biggest thing really for me is being able to speak out and
Mm.
speak up. That was the thing that I thought, yeah, this is going to do it. And I got totally, for me too, was making that commitment
Mm.
to actually do the course the way it's designed rather than do it Vaiata's way, because I think that's been my problem in a lot of things, doing it Vaiata's way, not how the program has been designed.
Right.
So in this instance was like, no, I'm going to do it. And I committed, it was not going in here being a 2, it was a 10, like being very, this is a 10, and it's like, that's it, this is it, I'm
Mm.
going to do it. And
Right.
that's the difference, I think, more than any others. I think I've done courses before because people have said, this is a good course, you should do it. But
Mm.
this time I chose it fully.
Right. And the I mean, that is very powerful what you said, what you're saying, because when we only do something half-hearted, or when we go in with heaps of doubt, that impacts our participation. And so uh just for people listening, so when someone is interested in the Woman Beat You Drum program, I don't register everybody who speaks with me about it. And so we go through an interview, and just to suss out if it is something that's actually really going to be suitable. And then I make sure that you're really, really clear that this is what you want, and that this is you're like just 100% in and committed, because really it's the life that you want to live. Why not
Mm,
100% committed, right?
mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
So then tell us, what are some of the benefits? What are some of the things that have transformed in your life? And I've already kind of primed people, by talking about relationships, and you're going to talk about relationships. So maybe we should just start there, and get to what everybody is waiting for. So yeah.
Okay, so I was married for 25 years, and my marriage broke up in 1997. And I have kind of had a couple of relationships, never ever a live-in relationship since then, and mostly only 2 to 3 months. I met my new fiance 4 years ago. We are both the same age, and he'd been in lots of relationships. And anyway, we moved in together last year. I've been living with my mother, but we moved in together in
You've been
October. So it's,
caregiving for your mother. Just wanted to.
yeah, so I was caring for my mother for 16 years, but now everybody else is my other sisters and brothers are helping. But anyway, um, I was in this I was here, and we're great. But there was just something holding me back, and I had no idea what it was. In the first weekend of the Woman Beat Your Drum, on the Friday night before we got on to our second weekend, sorry, I had been doing um, one of the exercises and the assignments all week. And the night before, something happened, and we were having a bit of an argument, actually. We were just having this argument. And then suddenly, from the depths of my soul, I started crying, and it just all came up. And something completely, I can't explain it. It just happened. And in that moment, I fell in love. I fell in love with my fiance in a way that I have not been in love with anybody. There was Everything had gone in that moment, and I chose him. I am in love with him. I was just saying, I met somebody the other day who I know and trust really dearly. I was sharing that moment with her, and I was in that moment again. And he came home because he had to go to work, and I had to go to work after this conversation. He came home and he said to me, "Oh my God, I fell in love with you more and more when you were
Oh,
telling your friend about that night. And you shared everything, like the crying, the yelling, and all of that. But honestly, I mean that was worth everything, and that was only the first week. And not only him, with my sisters, my brothers, we have a much better relationship. We were together just the other night for a birthday and laughing, laughing, laughing. So just that
Mm.
was worth everything. And
Wow.
I am so totally in love with this man that, I had all these things about, oh, he's not good, he's not really up to me, blah, 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 all these judgments. But I don't have that. I have a man that loves me unconditionally, and I love him unconditionally. Does it mean that I don't have some judgment every now and then? No, it just means that whatever we argue about can just be gone just like that, because we talk about it. We
Mm.
just talk it through. And it's a relationship that I've been wanting forever. And it's happened because of this Woman Beat Your Drum. And as I say, 1 week into it.
Yeah.
And that's because I'm doing what I'm doing. And I'm sharing it with him as well along the way. Not
Yes.
everything,
That's
but sharing
beautiful.
what I'm getting out of it. And
Wow.
hopefully,
Yes. Isn't it? It's just, like it's one thing to say, oh, just stop judging, right? And, but it's another thing to actually do it. And that actually isn't, we don't even talk about that in the Woman Beat Your Drum program. There's, the work we do is at depths of depths. And so when you let go of judging, it is actually a natural occurrence of the work that you're doing, deeply. So yeah, I'm right with you. I'm moved with you. And I know that people watching are going to be the same way. Yeah. So tell me, Vaiata. And so just for if you're popping in now, I'm interviewing Vaiata, who is a participant in the Woman Beat You Drum program. Please just leave a little comment or say hello if you've just popped in, or ask a question. And so tell me, you mentioned also about your relationship with your siblings, because I know that that's something that has been quite stressful for you. So first of all, can you just say what it was like in the past, so people have a sense of how far that's moved?
so when we were younger, it was great. And then my dad passed away in 2003. And I'm the eldest, and in our culture, and I also didn't have a partner, but in our culture, the oldest, especially girl, has to look after our parents. And so my mother has never lived alone, so I moved in with her. Yeah, and but when I moved in with her, everybody else thought that they could just go off and do their own thing. And then what they used to do, they'd come in and, they'd tell me what to do and tell me I hadn't done this properly and hadn't done that properly. So that's what it was like. And I just felt like I didn't have a voice, and they told me what to do. And then
Because
my
that was
daughter
the
said,
thing. That was the thing, right? Because you held back, because that's been the big.
yes.
So you would shut up, you wouldn't say anything, you would just kind of swallow it all. It's like they must know better. And meanwhile, there's like, this anger or resentment inside.
Yeah.
And your
And
daughter, you gonna say?
especially with one particular sister.
Right.
And then anyway, it got to the point where then I met my partner, and I thought, well, I couldn't move out because I was looking after mum. And I asked if he could move in, and they said no. And I thought, so they don't want me to have a relationship either. And anyway, my daughter said to me, I want you to move out. And I didn't think I would, but I did.
Mm.
And since I've been doing the course, because even then it's still a little bit like this, but since I've been doing the course and and doing everything, it's
Mm.
just happened. Everybody's just we're all just getting on better. And I can walk into the house now and sit down, and like the other night, and we're laughing and laughing, and like we used to, and there's nothing there. And that's only happened since I've been doing Women Beat Your Drum. It didn't happen for the 7 months that I've been out already, or 8 months. It happened in this
Mm,
course, and I didn't say anything to them about it. It's
mm,
just happened inside of whatever we've been doing,
mm.
our assignments and all of that, and I've been doing, and it's just happened. It's a
So
beautiful way.
yeah, that's lovely. So what is it that's going on inside of you? So before, when you would have interactions with your, particularly that one sister who you've had, issues with, what was going on inside of you? Like, how would you feel inside?
Every time I saw her, my shoulders would come up, or I'd go, here she is, she's going to come and tell me off or something, and she won't listen to anything I have to say. And yeah, there's just all
Right.
of that.
Okay.
But suddenly
And what's
she's
it like
asking
now?
me, she's like, there's been a couple of things happen just in the last couple of weeks, actually. Oh,
Mm.
so Vaiata, what do you think about that? And I'm like, oh, oh my gosh, I've got it was like when we were kids and she'd come to me about something. So now it's just lovely. I don't have that shoulders
Mm.
coming up, and that feeling of actually I have got nothing to say, because I have got something to say. So and
That's
it's just,
right.
and I haven't said anything to her to say, I've got something to say here, so just listen. It's just like, no, it's happened just inside of our assignments,
That's right.
and the other things we're doing. It's all,
Yeah.
I don't know what that word is. It vicariously, or is that a word? It just
It's you
is.
beating your drum.
Yeah, I'm beating my
This is
drum, and
what's,
she's,
yeah, because this is what's
yeah.
happening. You see, when, like, when in growing up and like trying to figure out relationships and, get things to work, what we do is we just think through strategies. Like, what do I need to do in order to get them to do something else? Kind of like cause and effect. I do this, they do that. And then you try and manipulate, because if I do this, and none of that really is effective. It's awful. We're then inauthentic, and dysfunctional relationships, right? But um, when we alter who we're being inside, we begin when we alter who we're being inside. Let me add more to that. We alter our internal environment, which means
Mm,
that the thoughts that we're having in our mind are different. The way we're feeling is different. And consider that our thoughts and feelings have a frequency, like it can even be measured. And
mm,
so consider that the frequency that's actually emanating from you is different. The vibes, let's say, coming from you are different. You don't even need to say or, do anything like, strategic or manipulative. It's actually just the way you're being that has altered, that invites different reaction from different people.
mm.
It's not like you did anything in order for her to be different. Right.
No.
That's what you're saying. But, and who you're being is different. And you haven't even, I mean, you've done, you're referring to like you're letting people know there are assignments in that, but it's not about, I'm going to be this way in order to,
No.
yeah,
No.
that's right.
No.
That's what's
So
happening. So, yeah. So what are some other results that you're getting from the program?
one of the other things is, you have to create this vision, and then you do a prayer, and so at work I was having, there was a person who wasn't being very nice to anybody, and so I used her as my vision, and anyway, it's very powerful because she's actually been stood down and she's no longer with us. And she's been there 3 years since the beginning. And then another one, and then another thing that's happened is because I want the place to be happy. Everybody wants to come to work,
Yeah.
and everyone empowers each other
Hmm.
to help each other. And if you
And
don't know what,
nothing wrong with holding a vision like that, right? That
yeah, and
you
it's
want to love going to
fantastic.
work.
Because it's happening. It's actually happening. And that's only in the last few weeks, like about 2 or 3 weeks, because I had to choose
Mm.
somebody else. And honestly, it's our workplace now. I actually want to go to work. About, 3, 4 weeks ago, I didn't want to go to work. But now I want to go to work. It's a place that um, people are happy and
Yeah.
energy inside the whole area. In
Yeah.
fact, people from another side of the building said to me, wow, we hated coming through this place. It was like, oh, I don't want to walk through there to go to the kitchen. And now they go, wow, what's happened? It's like, there's just a different energy. And it is this, and I am taking ownership of it. It is this. It's made a huge difference
Yeah.
to the whole floor. We have
Right.
the whole floor doing different things. So it's
That is
very exciting. And so yeah, I just
I remember you talking about that, Vaiata. I remember when, we initially, so the project, so Vaiata did mention we do, do a project, and it's not like you involve other people or stuff. It's all like an internal project. But but I think it was even before that you were talking about this vision about your work, and that that was one of the things that you really wanted, is that you wanted a happy workplace. You wanted to get up and want to go to work. And some of the things that you had described, and we don't want to get into the details, because your place is a lovely workplace, really. And all that happens is that sometimes when there's one person who's very unhappy, and they just happen to be in a leadership role, and then they can make it very unhappy for everybody else to go there, right?
yeah, because I think the other biggest thing that I got out of this is before, so I got bullied at work at another place and ended up leaving with PST, PTSD.
Oh, and this is one
And
of your colleagues at work?
yeah, and three managers actually who bullied me. But
Oh, this is you. Okay.
I stopped speaking, you see. I stopped speaking out about stuff, and which is not like me. Normally, if somebody's in trouble, I want to speak out, but I stopped. And even when I started here, I did not speak out about anything. But what I've got now is I've actually got my voice back. And even now, with being on here, like, I feel quite powerful. And but I've got my voice back, and something happens and I'm speaking out again. And the other
Mm.
thing I've got is, instead of speaking from here, which is what I've been doing a lot in the last few years, is I've gone back to my heart. It's
Mm.
taken me back to my heart.
How
And
do you
that's what this
know?
program's done.
How do you know that it's taken you back to your heart?
Because I am coming from here now, like my voice is, and it sounds terrible, but my voice is softer, even though it's more powerful, it's still
Mm.
softer. And I know that things are happening around me. My granddaughter wanted to come and spend time with me. Not that she hasn't, but not, this was very special. She's 21. She asked me if she could come and talk to me. She was going through some stuff. And I was able to just share a little bit about this,
Mm.
about her, for her. But she shared stuff that she has not explained, talked to anybody about. And so, that's what I mean. I'm coming back to me. All the young girls at work come to me about lots of things, just
Mm.
talking about stuff that's going on. So I've gone back to my heart, which is where I usually always had come from. But over the years, I've gone, it's all, like, oh, no, I won't say that because that'll hurt you, or I won't say that, even though inside I've known that it will make a difference. And I'm all about making a difference to people. And this is what's happened now. I can speak out again, but not speak out
Mm.
from here, speak out from here.
Oh, Vaiata, that's a beautiful distinction. And just that little example that you gave of, you know, being up in your head. Oh, I won't say that because then it's going to hurt her, or, so-and-so's going to get upset. And this is what happens when we're in our head, right? We're trying to think things through, but by analyzing them. And
Yeah,
whereas, and so we just shut up, right? Because our head would no, play it safe, and we don't know the outcome and all that. And then when we actually come back into our heart, and our heart guides us, and we can feel that something needs to be said. And when we speak from here, somehow we can say the most extraordinary things, and people aren't hurt. Or if they are hurt, it's because you're not coming from a hurtful place, they like there's just less problem, right? And and people are still left to deal with whatever they need to deal with, but it's you're the somehow like compassionate words come that are very powerful, rather than trying to figure out all the right words to say. And here's a very different place to come from.
mm, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Wow.
Mm.
So, um, if there, like, what if there was somebody who is watching this and they're thinking about participating in the program, what do you want to tell them? Maybe they're scared. Maybe they're, will this work for me, and the finances and all that.
Yeah, I think first of all, you've got to really think to yourself, what is it that you want? Be very clear about it. Um, this program is for anybody, but you do have to be ready because there are things you go deep. And but for me, it's you get trust out of it for yourself.
Mm.
The biggest thing that I've got is like really like, trusting myself. Also, I I feel sexy. Like I'm quite a big lady, but I feel sexy again. Um, I I I just love um, things. I'm enjoying things. I participate more in life again because I stopped participating in life. It was just like, oh, I'll get up in the morning, go to work, come home, go to sleep, But you love it. As I said to you, before, this program just gets inside you, and you don't even know how it works. It just does. It really works. And I think if you're wanting something, you've been looking for something for a long, long time, trust this program. As I say to you, I've done lots of transformational work. I was a leader in one of those places, and and I led a couple of some seminars. But in this program, my heart works like before. It was all read this, do it this way, but this program is all about you, and you bringing yourself back to you and getting to know yourself again like you were when you were a little girl of 3 or 4, and nothing was in the way. Nothing was in the way. You just loved life and you just did whatever you want to do. Well, that's what this has brought back to me. I'm loving life,
Mm.
and I'm just participating and being me, bringing
Mm.
me back to me. So yeah, I know, sometimes finances, but finances can be worked out. I think that's a big thing with a lot of people these days with COVID and that. But
Yeah.
anything can be worked out. And
Mm.
if you really jump in, just do it, I'd say, because it's made a huge difference. It's 3 months.
Mm.
And in that 3 months, my life's transformed more than ever before in any program.
Wow. Wow, that's quite a statement. Yeah. Wow.
Mm.
So, is there anything else that you would like to say about the program that I haven't asked you?
Um, you get to meet some amazing women. Like I've got there's three others in this particular program. Um, one's in America, one's in Canada, another one's here in Wellington too. Each one of us, I've watched us all, and we've all grown. But you get to see it doesn't matter where you live in the world, we all have the same problems, we all have the same concerns, and at the bottom of it, the deepest thing is we just want to live a life of happiness and peace, and be able to just talk about anything actually, and we do, and that there are the other women, amazing, amazing, and we've all seen each other at our worst and our best, and in between we've just, but we're all the same.
Mhm.
And every time, you get to have a one-on-ones with Leanne through the program whenever you want. And the other thing about that is that we just, we have a trust between us all that will never go away. And when the borders open, whenever that will be, who knows, we might all catch up one day. But every single one of the women involved are, we're you know we're all we are all beautiful, and I every person on the earth is beautiful, but
Mm,
looking at the higher self of each other, because we're all got a higher self. If we can talk always to the higher self, then we would never say anything awful about anybody.
mm,
We would want to just support and support and support, and lift everybody up, not put anybody down.
mhm.
And that's what this program has done for me. Because there were times that I'd look at people and go, oh, they're not very nice, or blah, 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 blah. But what I've got out of this is, when I talk about going back to the heart, it is about
Mm,
that. It's actually seeing everybody, because if somebody is not being very nice, there's something hurting inside of them,
yeah.
and that can be transformed.
Mm,
And it's like trying to find out, well, what is going on with you, rather than going, God, I don't want to know her, like I just want to get her out of the space, or him out of space. Rather
yeah.
than that, it's go and talk and find out what's
Mm,
going on. Can I help you? And
yeah.
that's what, yeah, this is
Mm,
I can't say enough about this program. This program is amazing. And
mm.
I've known Leanne for a long, long time. And I've seen her go through her things. But honestly, this program has been the best 3 months that I've had, yeah, in my life, really. So,
Wow.
yeah,
Wow, Vaiata, thank you so much for just being so real and honest and sharing with people. And thank you so much for your time. Yeah, I really appreciate that. Yeah. So
you're welcome.
yeah, thank you. So if you're tuning in, I've been interviewing Vaiata, who's a participant in the Woman Beat Your Drum program. And if you've got any questions or comments, please write them. So Vaiata and I will go in there and respond to them. So just stay tuned, Vaiata, and but I'm going to end this here. So thank you everybody for tuning in and for watching the replay. And again, Vaiata, thank you. I know you're going to head off to work very shortly. So, all right, here we go.